Hi, and welcome to this week's Intuition Summer School lesson, which is lesson 4, which is about manifesting and busting some of the myths around manifesting. I'm Ruth Ann Richards. I'm the creator of the Intuition Connection. I'm author of Reclaim Your Intuition, and I'm hosting this free summer school. And I'm doing it because I believe that when we are intuitively empowered, and we reconnect and reclaim our intuition, life gets easier, it's more joyful, it's happier, and I would just love more people to feel that way, especially women. So far, we've had 3 lessons on summer school, and I'm going to recap what we've covered, and I'm referring to my notes to keep me off track because I love talking about this stuff and can easily go off at a tangent. So week 1, we had what is intuition and where does it come from? Week 2, we got deep and meaningful with the otherworldly, spiritual belief systems in general, and what do we believe as adults and the conditioning we have from childhood. Lesson 3 got a little bit more light-hearted about coherence and about the wonderful personal coherence of when heart, body, mind and soul are all aligned and in agreement, and that's a wonderful feeling of empowerment when intuition brings that about, and that makes making choices easier. So we've covered 3 broad subjects so far. We're going to go a bit more practical today. So if you're into manifesting and it's never worked for you and you feel a bit disillusioned, then some of these myths I'm going to bust today are going to help you understand why. So get your comfortable place, find your notebook and pen if you want to, get a cuppa, try and do this in a quiet space with no interruptions, and let's get ready and bust 5 myths about manifesting. The first myth I want to bust about manifesting is the idea that we can ask for anything and we can expect to get it. No, just plain no. There are many reasons why we might not get what we ask for, and I'll cover a little bit of that in this lesson, but mostly it's about busting the myths and understanding why. So, busting this myth and accepting that the universe is not always going to give you what you want is the starting point to having a better relationship with the universe and a better relationship with how manifesting works. Now, I've been quite disillusioned with manifesting over time, which is why I know what some of the myths are now. I've looked into it a lot more and why I want to share them with you. And the first thing I want to share as well about changing the narrative how we talk about manifesting is I now say co-creating. So within my circle, within my services and the work that I do with other people, I talk about co-creating. We drop the word manifesting. Now I'm going to refer to the word manifesting here because that's probably what you're used to, but you're going to hear me use co-creating as well. Because manifesting is actually a relationship with the universe. It's a partnership. We ask for what we want, our heart and soul's desires. We ask the universe. And then the universe does her thing. Now, the universe may not always give you what you want, but as the lyrics of the Rolling Stones said, you may not get what you want, but you get what you need. Sometimes we ask for things because it's either not heart-centered, it's not really in our soul, it's just what we think we should have. We think we should have a certain car on the drive or a certain house, or the children go to a certain school or live a certain way. And yeah, that might be okay, but that might be part of our condition. It might not be truly what we want. Because asking for what we want is not always about material objects, it's about a feeling. And we'll talk about that a bit more later. But it's the feeling that creates the vibrational frequency to start that relationship with the universe. So we're busting the first myth, which is you cannot expect always to get what you want. But that's okay. That doesn't mean we stop manifesting or co-creating. It just means we have a better understanding of what to do. And that takes us on to busting the next myth. One of the biggest ways I find most people are disillusioned with manifesting is that they ask for what they want and then they wait and wait and wait and wait. And they get fed up of waiting and they decide, oh, well, it's not going to happen, and they forget about it and they move on to something else. And that within itself is self-sabotaging because, Sometimes you do have to wait for these things to come. But if we truly want something and we ask the universe for it, we don't just sit and wait around. Remember, we're talking about a partnership and co-creating. So a partnership is more than one. And in this case, the partnership is you and the universe, spirit, God, whatever you wish to call it. That's the partnership. And it takes two sides to make a partnership. So we ask the universe what we want. That's us letting the universe know. But we don't just sit around and wait for it. We take our actions towards it. So here's an example. If you want it to feel financially secure, that's your desire to feel financially secure in life. And because that's how you want to feel, you ask the universe for more financial abundance so that you can have the feeling of being financially secure. So do you remember I said in the first video about it's not always about asking for things. Sometimes it's about how we want to feel and how we want to be. So we're using the example of feeling financially secure and asking for more abundance. And then if you sit and do nothing, you're giving mixed messages to the universe. You've asked for something, but you're doing nothing about making it happen from your side either. And remember, the universe is responding to vibrational frequencies that we can't see in the universe. Our thoughts become frequencies, our feelings become frequencies. So we've created this very strong frequency to ask the universe for more financial abundance, to give us the feeling of financial security, and then we do nothing about it. That's what we call mixed messages. So the universe is like, okay, well, she asked for this, but now I don't see any frequency or evidence of any actions being taken towards this. So, okay, maybe this is not that important. So have you ever done this? And I did this many, many years ago. You write a cheque out to the universe asking for £1 million. Well, unless you take some action to make that £1 million and create your own financial abundance, it's unlikely that that cheque's ever going to be fulfilled. The universe wants us to take action. The universe responds to our thoughts and feelings, and it responds more emphatically when we take thoughtful action. So, for example, if you're looking for financial security and you're asking the universe for more money from a promotion, a new job, you're starting a business or a side hustle, or you want to win the lottery, whatever way it comes to you, you're asking for more financial abundance. Take some action, and that doesn't mean go buy a lottery ticket. You start a special savings account with a small amount each week, even if you did only £1 or whatever the lowest denomination is you can do each week. It's giving the message to the universe that I'm serious about this feeling and this thought. I'm taking the action with it. Even if you choose to make a regular donation to a charity each week, because you are financially abundant, maybe you want to be able to donate more money to the charities that have meaning for you. So even by donating a small amount to a charity now, you're saying to the universe, I'm financially abundant and I want to be able to donate more when I have more financial abundance and when I have more financial security. It demonstrates to the universe you're serious about creating financial security. And guess what starts to happen? You start to see more financial abundance in your life. So we're busting the myth of asking and then waiting. And we're replacing it with the new narrative of co-creating, which is asking for what you want and then taking thoughtful action. However small the steps, how little it may seem to you, those steps create a strong vibrational frequency that lets the universe know you're ready to co-create. What is yours will never pass you by. What is yours is always meant to be and is going to be yours. That's a spiritually universal truth, but we forget it. So this is myth busting number 3, busting myth number 3. Just because it doesn't happen right now doesn't mean it's never going to happen. So we know we're co-creating, we know it's a partnership, we know we're taking thoughtful action to what we want. But just because it's not manifesting doesn't mean it never will. Have you ever considered the possibility that you might have asked for the universe for something, but you didn't see it? The universe brought it to you, but for different reasons, you didn't see it. And missed opportunities are all around us. So I want to bust the myth with you right now that it didn't happen. It may well have happened and you did not see it or receive it, and we'll come to receiving later on. The universe responds to far more than we realise, but we don't always see it because we're too busy dealing with life. I asked for the money recently for the printing for one of my Oracle decks. And lo and behold, I was offered a refund for something. And my initial reaction was, oh no, I'll bank the money, I'll leave it where it is. And then 48 hours later, I received, actually, that money would pay for the printing. So why did I bank it and why did I not accept the refund? Now, fortunately, I spotted that quite quickly. 48 hours is pretty good going for me. But there are things like that all through life that we make these choices because we've not connected it with what it is that we've asked the universe for and that we want to co-create. So take a few quiet moments if you can, and if you want to, just pause the video here to think about it. But what missed opportunities might there have been for you for something that you really wanted to manifest? And looking back, you can now see, oh yeah, that was an opportunity to do that. Just allow it to float through your mind now. And it's not about blame, shame or guilt, because remember, what is meant to be will happen for you. But this is the new narrative to tell yourself what is yours will never pass you by. And don't think just because you missed an opportunity one time, it's not going to come back again. If it's truly meant to be, it's going to happen. So if you have missed an opportunity, don't lament it, don't be sad, don't be angry or fearful. Just say, you know what, universe, I hope next time I'm going to be wiser and more open to recognising that when it arrives. Believe that what's meant to happen for you is going to happen, and it will be. Don't believe that just because you missed an opportunity, it's never going to happen again. And this segues into our next Mythbuster, which is about timing. So maybe what you've read and learned about manifesting is that you put an order in, you ask for what you want and when you want it. It's not quite how manifesting works, and it's certainly not how co-creating works, but I want to bust some myths around timing here. Timing is a human-made construct. The idea of the units of measurement of time of seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, humans made that up back in the day, which is my generic phrase for ages ago. Back in the day, the measurement of time was the sun going up, the sun setting, moon, so sun and moon cycles, tides, seasons. It was completely different. But we live in a culture and society that believes time is of the essence, that believes time is money. Time is not money. Money is a whole completely different vibrational frequency to time. And we feel we're on the clock, we feel we're on timetables, and we have these attitudes to time, and they exist because human made them real. But this is not the timing of the universe. This has no reality in the universe. So whatever you're asking the universe for, whatever you want to co-create in this new partnership that you're having with the universe to create the life that you want and have the things that bring you meaning, always ask for it at the right time. Contrary to popular belief, you cannot ask the universe for something now, tomorrow, or next week. Unless the universe deems that, the conditions are already in place for you to have it tomorrow, now, or next week. That's unlikely to happen. It takes time for us to change. It takes time for us to create actions, thoughtful actions that match our feelings and desires. And it takes the universe her own time as well to bring the conditions in place, because quite often what we want impacts lots of other things. It's not just about us, it's about things that we want, and it's about, things getting lined up for the right place and the right time, and that's what the universe does. That is her job, and we have to allow her the time to do that. So you take your thoughtful actions towards your desire, you allow the universe the time she needs to create the conditions to come together to bring you what you desire. So we're busting the myth that you can ask for something in a specific time to manifest. It's unlikely to happen. And when you accept that, and you understand that, and you understand that co-creating is for the long haul, it's not just the short term, you can ask for what you want to come to you at the right time. The universe is not here to respond to our timetable because because it's a manufactured timetable, and the universe is working on her own timetable, on her own vibrational frequencies that include our thoughts and feelings. And when the universe starts to feel the vibrations are ready, then the timing comes into being. And that takes us nicely to busting our final myth, which is about giving and receiving. There is an outdated concept in our culture that we have to give more than we receive. No. Just plain no. Let's just bust this myth right now, and let me tell you how it relates to co-creating. If you give more than you receive, you are effectively self-sabotaging. You're blocking your own co-creating and creating your own abundance and co-creating the life that you want. The key to giving is to give and receive in equal amounts. So perhaps you know someone who is selfless, does everything for other people, always thinks about other people, puts other people first. These people are wonderful, but they're only happy and healthy if they receive as much as they give. And the example that came to mind when I was preparing for this was Mother Teresa. She could be a great example of being selfless and putting other people above herself. But she was a happy woman. Whenever you saw her, she was happy and smiling because she received as much as she gave. And what she received was love. So the idea that we have to receive financial abundance to balance the giving and receiving is also a myth to bust. What we're balancing are our feelings of giving, the feelings we have attached to giving and receiving. If we do things for other people and receive love in return, then we're balanced and there's an equilibrium in us and we feel happy to give and receive. There's no resentment, there's no feeling of duty. We can do it with a whole soulful heart as opposed to, as I said, feeling resentful. And if you receive love in return for what you do, that's great. Now, that love may not come from the people or the situations that you're serving. It may come from somewhere else, and that's okay. It's not about where it comes from. It's about giving and receiving in equal balance. Now, maybe there's some people you know who are absolutely selfless, who end up ill and breaking down and feeling unhappy and depressed and unwell. And that's because they're giving more than they're receiving. Now, this doesn't mean that we need to stop being selfless and doing selfless acts for other people and putting other people first. Absolutely not. It means that we just balance it out better. So we can receive love, we can receive hugs. It may be something physical like that we receive. It could be a compliment, it could be gratitude. Whatever it is that we receive, we give in return. So, for example, have you ever, has someone ever said to you, oh, you look really nice today? And you're like, oh, well, I haven't done anything different. Or someone says, oh, I love your top, is that new? And you go, oh, no, this old thing. Or, oh, no, this was cheap in a sale. That shows us we can't accept a compliment. When someone says, oh, you look really nice today, the appropriate response is, oh, thank you very much. And you receive that with gratitude, regardless of what might be going on in your head. So this idea of being able to receive compliments, not just money and things, but compliments, hug, warmth, love and care from other people is really important. But constantly giving and refusing to receive tells the universe that you're not ready to co-create. So if you have a heart's desire and you ask for something and you don't take your thoughtful action and you give more than you're ready to take back, again, the universe has these mixed messages and she doesn't know which way you're going. So as I said, that doesn't mean we have to be selfless all the time. Okay, so we're not talking about being selfless and selfish. We're not talking about stopping doing things for other people. We still do those things. We balance it with receiving in return. And when you can receive and when you show the universe that you can receive with gratitude, this marks a huge shift in co-creating and what is actually going to become real and manifest in your life. And remember, we don't have to receive from the place where we give. You may be a volunteer and work with people who are perhaps unhappy or not functioning well in life, and you support them, but they're unable to give you the gratitude or show you the love that they feel inside of what you do. But maybe you get that love and gratitude from somewhere else. So it's not about it has to balance out where it's given and where it's received. It's just a general balancing of giving and receiving. So if you're ready to receive and ready to receive from the universe, this does supercharge the vibrational frequencies that the universe feels for you. And it starts this whole process, as I said, of supercharging what you co-create and supercharging what manifests in the world for you. And, receive with an open heart, an open mind, and open arms. In fact, just open your arms out right now and open your mind and your heart and just say to the universe, yeah, I'm ready to receive. And receive everything gratefully that comes to you. And that's our 5 myths. So I'm going to do a quick review and then tell you what we're covering next week. Here's our quick recap for lesson 4, manifesting and busting some of the most common myths. And the 5 myths I chose for this lesson were, firstly, you can't and always don't get what you want, but that's okay. The universe is always going to give you what you need. Accept that. Secondly, don't sit around and wait for it to happen. Take your own thoughtful actions to co-create what you want. Thirdly, just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it never will. The universe creates the conditions at the right time. What's yours will never pass you by. 4, you cannot demand the time when it happens. As we've just said, the universe takes our time to put the right conditions together, and you have no control over that. Accept that too. And finally, the 5th myth was, we have to give more than we receive. And we know now that giving and receiving in equal measure and balance is the way to receive and co-create the life that you want. It's the way to receive opportunities from the universe and receive all the abundant things that you want in your life. Keep an open heart, an open mind, and open arms. So thank you for watching this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't seen the first 3 lessons, they are still available to watch. Now, next week, lesson 5 is a special week. I'm going to share with you my proprietary method, that's a posh word, eh? For spiritual goal setting and co-creating. It's a framework and a method called the CAT method, which stands for No, Activate and Trust. And I know this works because I use it, and I use it with my clients, and they have changed their lives. So I'll see you next week for the CAT method. Take care. Bye.